Books have become my closest companion because it smells good, is easy to travel with, acts as a coffee stand, and sometimes to read. If you don't like to read, you simply haven't found the right book. Says J.K. Rowling, one of my favorite authors of one of my favorite book series, Harry Potter, which, although I only read it recently, it was in the midst of the early pandemic. The whole world is soaking into this new reality, and your mind is so tormented that you wish to sleep and get lost in a beautiful dream and never wake up until this whole goddamn thing is fixed. But unfortunately, that's not possible. And how do you lose yourself to fantasy without putting yourself to coma? This, or this, or this. And man, what a pleasure it was. I started with the first page, then the second, and I couldn't stop it until I finally devoured the whole series, the whole 7 books. Can you believe that? But today, we're not here to talk about fiction/fantasy genre. Today, we'll be mentioning my 5 favorite non-fiction books that has helped me immensely in my life. There are already hundreds of reviews about this particular book on YouTube, but I'm only going to do a short review and share my experience with you about the things that I've learned from this book. Released in 1936, this book has sold over 16 million copies all over the world. Yes, this book, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. And as the title suggests, this book talks about how to be a great communicator, showing a genuine interest in people can have great benefits for you, for your career. This book has so much to offer, and it talks about so many good topics like listening intently, how to listen effectively to what other person has to say. All I'm saying is when you are engaged in a conversation with another person next time, try not to talk more, just listen to what other person has to say, and you'll realize the difference it makes to you and to the person you're talking to. One of the things I really like about this book that it talks so openly about things like people in general. People are selfish in nature. That's a fact. People are selfish. They love to talk about themselves, and they think 90% of the time about themselves. So if you want to develop a relationship with people, you have to make them talk about themselves. You should talk about topics that they really like, not what you want. Like you have to see through others people's opinion. And I'm very surprised that why this kind of books are not involved in school texts. I mean I mean all the other topics are great, like mathematics, history. Yes, they're important, but the most important thing is to learn about people. The people skills is the most important thing. So quit wasting time and go read this book right now. There are a lot of self-help books in the market which usually is based on the same kind of concept. Love more, how to be happy, how to live a very good life, smile more, and so on. So technically it's based on the similar concept, how to make life better in general. But this one is an exception. Based on the title of this book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a for this. And I had bought this book on a paperback version, but I gave it to my friend who was leaving the country. But anyways, I have this book in my ebook version. So, and man, what a read! The introductory essay given by the writer Mark Mason about not giving a fuck made me really happy and made a lot of sense to me. I would also like to tell the viewers that not to get the wrong idea just by looking at the title, because there's a lot of distinction between the title and what the writer actually wants to say in the book. Um, he says it's not about giving a fuck about anything, it's about giving a fuck only about the most important things. Get it? Out of all the things in the book, this one really got to me. It says, the desire for more positive experience is itself a negative experience, and paradoxically, the acceptance of one's negative experience itself is a positive experience. The power of knowledge and wisdom is incredible, and like every other book, I had a similar kind of experience with this one too. Um, I read this book a year ago, and I'll tell you what happened. After I read this book, something just clicked inside me. I felt like there was an incredible surge of power that flowed through me, and my mind just opened up to new realities. I felt fearless. I felt great, to be honest. Um, and it's also said that 50% of the problems are 50% problems exist in humans' mind. So if you can control the human brain, like you can control your problems, then you can control, like, diminish half of the problems from your life. There's nothing wrong in acknowledging that men and women are different. They think different, they act different, and they want different things. Well, don't get me wrong. Morally, male and females are equal, but uh, when you look at it scientifically, they're not identical. Let's say, because the wiring of our brain and the effects of hormones determine how we think and behave. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce you to a very special book. Ta-da! Why Men Don't Listen and Women Can't Read Maps. This book was a gift from my friend. She liked it a lot, and told me to give it a try. And I'd like to say that I'm not disappointed. It was a very good use of time. Thank you. This book by the well-known authors Alan and Barbara Pease might be slightly controversial perhaps, but it's it's well grounded in research. This book is based upon hard scientific facts which has been gathered by questioning hundreds of participants of both genders, neuroscientists, and experts. There are also separate chapters for explaining very sensitive topics like why couples fail, why men love big words, why males can't talk properly, why women are great talkers, why are we who we are, the chemicals of falling in love, etc. The interesting thing is that they have presented this all the rocket science mathematical. You find many illustrations, cartoon illustrations and dialogues. That makes it very interesting. The book has many mixed reviews online, and I guess it depends on individuals' preference. But I would tell the viewers to give at least a try. Just read a book. Just read this book one time and let yourself decide what you think. And comment down below. I don't know if I should include this book on my video. Who cares? I don't give a fuck. This is my video. Book 4, Elon Musk, Tesla, SpaceX, and the Quest for a Fantastic Future by Ashley Vance. Yes, this is the book. There is abundance of things to talk about this book, but I'm only going to give it a superficial touch. But first of all, let me ask, how many of you have heard the name of Elon Musk? I've had to ask this because many of my friends who are engineers haven't even heard the name. Elon Musk is a chief engineer, industrial designer, and business magnate, and the founder and CEO of many big companies like Tesla, SpaceX, Boring Company, SolarCity, and Neuralink. He's one of the super entrepreneurs and technological legends of this era. I found the role of his childhood from his way to Zip, PayPal, Tesla, and SpaceX very fascinating and inspiring. Yeah, he's a multi-billionaire business tycoon, you know, who's always been given the status of a real-life Tony Stark.
Musk, how are you?
Congratulations on the promotion.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Those Merlin engines are fantastic.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, good idea for an electric jet.
You do?
Yeah.
Then we'll make it work.
Well, I think he's a great human being too because he cares about the environment, you know, with his company like Tesla and SolarCity. And this book gives you not so comprehensive but enough backdrop of his childhood struggles and his rise to greatness. In this book, you'll see things like you'll read things like his first struggle in establishing a company like SpaceX, where his own family and his friends were not even supportive of him, but he created the company anyway, you know, because not because he saw it as a money-making potential, but he wanted to get the world interested in space exploration again. And I also admire the audacity of Elon Musk because if you read his biography, you'll come to know that in the beginning of his SpaceX, he launched 3 rockets and they all exploded, and he almost went bankrupt. People like you and me or other entrepreneurs who just have given up, but this guy kept continuing, and look now where his company is. I mean, recently he just launched his Starship prototype up to 500 feet up in the air. So I think that's really incredible. All in all, I'll recommend this book to people who are interested in space, automobiles, engineering, and entrepreneurship. But also to people who wants to get some hardcore life lessons. Stuff like if you have a big dream in your life, or you have something, you have some vision, or the things that matter the most to you, you should strive it no matter what. You know, don't give up. Keep doing it, and eventually you'll reach your dream. And no matter how hard it gets, you'll eventually reach your dream. Thank you for watching this video. I'll be doing more of these videos on single book reviews in the future, and other reviews as well. And for the non-readers out there, I'd like to say, please go and buy a good book and enjoy and dive into the world of endless wisdom. It will be the most productive way you can utilize your time, and you'll not regret it. Okay, thank you, and stay safe.